Wildcats. And we'll get to talking about those two teams in a few minutes. But first, Frank had a chance to talk to Robin Brinkley, who does the wrestling rankings for the Virginian Pilot and the Ledger-Star.
Robin, we've got some key number 1, number 2 matchups tonight.
Well, you've got Shannon Baines, number 2, and Jason Forsman, number 1. The big weekend for Baines. He just wrestled Oscar Smith. Jake Lupton yesterday was number 3 and beat him pretty good, so I know he's really pumped up for this weekend. And then 45, of course, you got Strickland, who seems pretty invincible, and Whitaker at number 3 probably won't be a great match. And a real interesting one should be 71. Crenshaw, undefeated for Cox, and Billy Allred, who's just made great strides for Great Bridge. He's number 3 now. Be interesting to see how he does.
Overall, in the overall rankings, had an upset where Kempsville upset the number 2 team Green Run, make a big difference in the beach standings.
Well, it should give Kempsville the dual meet title and give them the first crack at Great Bridge in the region, which I don't know how. Actually, they're very excited about that. After the match last night, that's all anybody wanted to talk about. Danny DeReese, Brian Miller, Rob Barlow. I mean, they all want Great Bridge again, so they're probably going to get them.
Key matchup, so we have an interesting one at 119 where 2 9th graders, probably the best 9th graders in the region, will hit tonight with Beatson and Perry.
Yeah, that should be fun. Beatson, of course, was I think they were both 2-time junior high champs. Right. Beatson missed about 5 matches. He tried to come in at 12 and really struggled at the weight. Now he's gone up, and Perry's just, well, he's about a ballyhoo to freshman as you'll find.
Just about to get underway here at Great Bridge High School. Along with me tonight, Mickey Irving and Frank Lapoli here on Sports Beat 40. And Mickey, the Great Bridge Wildcats, what can you say?
What can you say? The number 6 team in the nation here in Chesapeake. And I'm going to tell you, always a tough match when they go against the Cox Falcons, just traditionally 2 of the powerhouses in the Eastern region. Coach Stevie Martin does have some concerns that he talked to Frank about earlier today. One of them is maybe the team has peaked already once. He's going to have to get them back where he wants them again. And he's also got a lot of key matches here against the Cox Falcons tonight. This is what Coach Martin told Frank.
Well, actually, we peaked for the Midwest Classic, and we had to peak again for the duels. I've actually slacked off quite a bit as far as the workload, and we haven't been doing as much as we had at the beginning of the year, actually. But they've been performing well in matches. I'm actually going to keep slacking off to right before the district tournament, and I'm going to pick the pace back up again, because if I kept working as hard as I was, there'd be no way they make it through the season. They burn out. So you got to be smart about how you train them.
Great Bridge would have to be the favorite tonight. It used to be a toss-up, but not quite so much anymore with the Wildcats being such a powerhouse.
No, we're not quite going to pack the house this afternoon as the Great Bridge Cox match used to, but Cox, a quality program.
Well, it's green and gold against green and gold. It's pride on the line here tonight. Talk to Gary Harraff. How do you build your team up? They're having a rebuilding season. They're 7-4. What he has to do to bring his team up, and this is what he had to say.
Well, we wrestle Great Bridge every year, and every year it's a great match. I think in the last 9 years, 8 out of 9 years, it's come down to heavyweight. We really just look forward to the competition. They got all the guns this year. They got everybody back, and we know that coming in. And yeah, we're young, and we're trying to regroup and come up with a combination that will work well together. And so you don't need to motivate to come in and wrestle Great Bridge. Just wrestling them alone is all you need to concentrate on, and we're really looking forward to it.
Just about ready to get underway here from Great Bridge High School. It's not a packed house tonight, but it's going to be a lot of action out there on the mat. So let's go over to Frank and Richie. We're about ready to go.
Hello, everybody. Here we are at Great Bridge High School, and the introductions are about to begin, Frank. And, in fact, the introductions have begun. We're up to the 112-pound weight division as far as the introductions are concerned.
Right here, this match right here, Aaron Beatson is probably a big match, more so for these 2 wrestlers than for anyone else. They're both 9th grade phenomenons here in 1993 season. You got to go with Perry. He's been up against tougher competition. He's been at 19 all year. Beatson's coming up from 112. Both superb athletes. It could come down to who just has the break in the match. They're both capable wrestlers. They just introduced our other big matchup today of Jason Forsman and Shannon Baines, 2 ranked wrestlers. There's 13 ranked wrestlers in the match. And here's our other one right here, the Terminator, Strickland, against Whitaker. You got to go with the Terminator. No one's been able to to even slow him down all year long, much less even get it close.
Well, I'll tell you what, the only way they've slowed the Terminator down this season is by forfeiting to him.
By skipping.
That's right.
Tell you what, this Great Bridge team now, we followed them all year, and you just got to take your hats off to the hard work that they've done. And there's green and gold versus green and gold tonight. Both programs are tradition of pride in the area, and here it is, the dumpster, Edmondson against Dan Clark. Edmondson, a senior, is trying to finish that year out and get that state championship, which eluded him right at the end of the year. There's our ranked wrestlers in tonight's matches. Our number 1 teams are in the gold, highlighted in the gold team.
That's right. A few more matchups than that. We do have the first-ranked wrestler we'll see at 135, Jason Forsman from Cox, is ranked number 1. He'll be the first-ranked wrestler from Cox that we'll see tonight. Also from Cox, Josh Whitaker is ranked 3rd at 145. Luke Crenshaw is ranked 1st at 171. And they're the only ranked wrestlers from Cox as usual. Lots of ranked wrestlers from Great Bridge. Sean Darnell, number 1 at 103. Shane Darnell, number 3 at 112. Carl Perry, number 2 at 119. Brian Jones at 130. Shannon Baines, number 2 at 135.
Don't go to the refrigerator. This could be quick right here at the first weight class. Viola is a gamey wrestler, not a lot of experience against a very experienced Shane Darnell. Darnell cut him loose. Looks like that's Sean Darnell, excuse me. And there's another takedown, so there's 4 to 1. Let's see if he rides him or tries to turn him. He cuts him loose.
Darnell definitely the favorite here, ranked number 1 in the area. Shelton Viola.
Well, Viola, the cousin of, there's another little short drag, single to like a little drag by. There's a front headlock spin. He's doing a virtual clinic on Viola. And that makes the score now 8-3 with a minute to go still in the first period. There's a nice setup. See those tie-ups are setups. The duck under, he'll just lift his head and score his 2 points. And there Coach Martin says to keep him down. As time goes on, we'll try to see if we can, what that trendsetter kind of guy, Stevie Martin, the coach of Great Bridge, is wearing tonight. Had a talk with him about his attire earlier, and I'll get into that a little bit as time goes on. That real trendsetter kind of guy, Stevie Martin.
Viola escapes, or is allowed to escape. That'll make the score 10-5.
Here's a low single. We see a limp arm. See, he's got a whizzer there. See it down there? And he's got, up. There it is. That's a limp arm out. 12-5.
Frank, I don't think I've got enough paper to keep the score for this one.
Well, what you're going to see they'll do is maybe, remember the score, you have to have a 15-point margin to end the match. So what they'll see him do is, it's only the first period. They'll take it close to that 15, and then they'll go for the fall.
Right. And there's the end of the first period. 12-5 the score. Sean Darnell here at 103 shows why he's the number 1 ranked wrestler. He's just having his way.
Yeah, he's just doing a takedown clinic over here. The fur he'll take down. I'll be surprised if he does roll him. They'll just cut him loose right here, right? They're going to put him loose. And then there he goes right after him.
13-5.
There's a takedown. And there, see what he does next. A little sweep single, front headlock. There it is. He'll pop his head up. Watch his head pop up. Watch it. Here it comes. Stuck under there. Boop. There it is.
I like nice sound effects.
Sound effects, courtesy of Rapoli Sound Generics. All right, there's that. Just trying to get real physical here. It's we're going to see Darnell over the next 3 weeks in the finals of everything.
Yeah.
Although threes are pretty darn tough weight class in the regionals. Depends on how the matchups. You've got the kid from Salem, really tough wrestler. And of course, Wilkie from Green Run was real tough. And in case you didn't know, at this point, Kempsville did upset Green Run. It virtually put them in the regional, put them in the front runner and pretty well lock up the district championship for them. So that will put them in a semifinal matchup with Great Bridge. Oh, there it is, a barrel roll, and that makes it 20-8, 19-8. So he's trading them point for point. Hasn't really scored one back point yet. Let's see what he does. Tries to probably go for something more to throw him to his back, maybe pick a cradle up. I'm kind of a little surprised, though, that all the takedowns that he's gone for, none of them have taken Viola to his back. They've all been simple, just snap down, spin arounds, or little duck unders. No what you really call dangerous moves in terms of putting the man in danger, not hurting him, of course. I hope you've enjoyed everything with us on ACC 40, and we like to thank our sponsor, Zeros. Jimmy Murphy over at Great Bridge Zeros has been a big help to us, and we appreciate it.
He's a member of the ACC 40 team now. There's your Terminator.
The Terminator. And if you get a chance, on Channel 11 on Cox Cable, and I believe on the other local access channels on Chesapeake, Tidewater Amateur Sports is going to be doing a story on ACC 40.
Is that right?
Sport Beats, yeah. So give them a look when you're not watching the wrestling telecast, of course.
Of course.
And we appreciate them and everything that they've done and everything you've done and the phone calls you've done to keep us doing as much wrestling as we can. And that ends the match at 15-point deficit, technical fall, 25-10 over Viola.
And that'll give Great Bridge a quick 5-0 lead and the team score.
Now we go to the 12-pounders. Travis Fox for the Falcons and Shane Darnell.
Now this one might not be, maybe a little different because these are two seniors going at each other opposed to a senior and a sophomore. So you may see a little more vicious. There's a little duck. See a duck to come. Good body position. There's a sweep. Keeps the arm, trying to turn it into a barrel roll. He misses it. And there's a single. And no points there yet. Like I said, Travis is much more experienced. There's a lift, and there's his, hasn't scored his two. There's his two. Gary Beatson is the referee on the mat, and Timmy Davidson is the assistant referee. Beatson is calling the match right now. So the score is 2-1 here. This may be as close as it gets.
Shane Darnell, the number 3 ranked wrestler in the area at this weight class. Travis Fox, unranked. And he's got 1:09 seconds to do whatever he can.
Trying to scoot his hips back out from under him. He's already scored his 2. And there's see if he can scoot his hips. He may get a switch, but he's got his hips covered a little bit. And he's got him split, so it'll be really hard to do it.
"35 seconds. Travis Fox certainly has his hands full with Shane Darnell. Well, it looks like this first period will end with a 4-1 score in favor of Darnell. Only 3 seconds.
Yeah, this is going to be a little closer than the last bout.
Let's go over to Mickey Irving, who's with Sean Darnell.
Sean, just takedown after takedown. Is that your game plan coming out of that?
I would say so. I'm really strong on my takedown. So he wasn't really, that physical. And I love to be physical, real aggressive. That's probably one of my key points right there, being aggressive.
You like coming out and putting the points right on the board and giving your guys a lead. Does that mean a lot to you?
Yeah, I like to get a real strong lead at the beginning. Because, at the end, no telling, I might hit a wall or something like that. Hopefully I wouldn't. And I didn't really then, so I wrestled a pretty tough match, so did he, Went my way really well,
All right, we'll see him again. Keep your eye on this guy, Sean Darnell. Back to you guys.
Thanks,
There's a lift, a high lift to a Turk. That's just how it's supposed to be done. It was a little side lift Turkczi's blocking his foot off so you can't get your shoulders square with the mat, but he really got a little bit too late.
6-1 is the score right now after a reversal by Darnell.
Got a chicken wing and it's a little high. I know the referee's looking at it. It's a little high, but it's still legal. Gotta watch the pressure on the shoulder.
Just inside a minute.
And looks like Gary didn't do any counting. And it stopped him. Good call by the referee. Potentially dangerous. Nothing's more important than keeping the wrestlers safe.
Right. Down inside 45 seconds to go now in the second period. 6-1 the score in favor of Shane Darnell. 2 takedowns and a reversal gave him that 5-point advantage. Fox with 1 escape earlier, and that was in the first period. Seconds. Fox able to pick up a reversal there.
Fox is making a match of it, and no question about it at all. 8-3. And it's just the second period. Hey, catching him on it back, and he's in this match. This is Travis was beat off the team by a 9th grader, Aaron Beaton, which is no shame. He is one of the stars of the future. But Aaron couldn't hold his weight at 12 anymore, and that opened up a spot for Travis.
And Darnell will get the 2 reversal points right at the buzzer.
That was kind of late. I don't necessarily. I didn't think that the control was dominant on that. So maybe we can get a replay sooner here, and I'll try to show that to you. Kind of an antsy, because when you're refereeing, you got to anticipate, to keep the kids safe,
right.
to be in position for the calls. But here we go. There it is. Now here comes the roll right here. See it? Now they're calling points right there, and the buzzer went off. And I think he was in midair. Right.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell exactly when the buzzer went off.
He was in midair, so it's real tough for that call. I think Gary just was a little antsy on that.
Right. Well, Darnell is going to turn Fox loose here to begin the third period. He has a 10-3 lead. And Fox will get an escape there.
1:51 left in the first period. The score is 10-4.
There's 2 points.
Another roll.
For Darnell.
Travis trying to score the back points. Now he's in a roll position if he can get it, but now he's got himself in trouble with this. He's got to lift that over his head. 12-4 the score.
12-4, not too bad being 8 points ahead if you can maintain that. Kind of tough to be it's hard enough to be a wrestling official, but when you've got a green armband and a red armband and 2 green and gold teams,
you'll see them wave them off a lot. What you're looking at when you're out there is you look for something on their uniform that goes, okay, that's the red guy, like Cox is that's going to be the red one where it says Cox. Right. We're looking for something that's consistent in all their uniforms. That's that way. It's normally, I believe the home team is always red. And what we do is we switch that all the time. If the team is green, like Great Bridge is green, they would be green, and they're wrestling Kensville, which would be red. It makes it real easy for the officials.
Right.
That came from international wrestling and the Olympic wrestling. There's Crenshaw be coming up here soon. GB, the tradition of pride, and the green and gold has definitely been a color that has been full of pride in the region with
Right.
Cox, Great Bridge, and Bethel High School.
Right. Cleaning up the mat now. A little blood out there earlier from Darnell's nose. And Darnell's going to cut him loose for an escape here at 112. Make the score 12-7. Darnell up on top.
2 points, Darnell on the takedown.
And there's 2 more points for him. For Darnell, that is. That'll make it 14-7. And it turned out a pretty good size crowd here today. Better than I'd expected, considering the virtual, meaningless nature of the match.
This is for pride.
.39 seconds to go in the match. Not much question, Darnell will win here, barring any unforeseen calamity, if you're a Great Bridge fan.
There's a cradle. Let's see if he can convert on it. He's going to have to lift. They call it dog. No, he did Turk. He's got it. He did it just how it's supposed to be done. He overbalanced himself, though. Travis kind of caught him overbalancing and trying to turn that himself into a cradle. Travis, a gutsy wrestler. The score is much closer than the 16-8 on the scoreboard, I believe. Travis has been in this match, and Darnell is just a bloody mess right now. They're going to have to take another timeout. If you can see with Coach Martin right there, see when that outfit he's wearing? Now, if we can get a shot of him, I don't know if we got a good camera view of Coach Martin, but I want to say that Coach Martin, the GQ kind of guy, has really started a trend in wrestling, and it's carried over, I want to say, to our own staff, where Richie and Mickey themselves have looked rather dapper today.
Well, thank you very much.
I just wanted to know if you guys called up Coach Martin before the match and asked him any tips.
Actually, he came by and picked out my wardrobe for me today.
If you can see Coach Stephen Martin, that's Wayne Martin. He's the old style. So he's the guy, he doesn't care how he has to look. He's married. But Stephen Martin, I asked him, I said, in our interview today, I said, Stevie, you look rather good. Is that a new shirt? And you know what he said to me?
What did he say?
He says, since your last show that you called me the GQ guy, I have a lot of new shirts. So there's Stephen Martin.
Doesn't look like a new shirt, though.
He's come along. Shows you what success does. Last year, he had pants did match, coat did match, tie did match, socks did match, and the shoes were questionable. This year, cover guy.
I think I know who got him straightened out. I think his assistant coach, Chris Smith, got him straightened out.
He borrows Chris clothes.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, we just want our hats off to Coach Martin, and also to Shane.
Yeah, Shane Darnell.
Darnell.
112, ranked number 3 in the area, holds on to win here.
16-8, and that puts up 9-0, makes it for Great Bridge.
So 2 matches, 2 victories for Great Bridge.
I'll tell you what, forget they got any uniforms on. They could just have sweatpants on. This is what you're going to call. This is going to be a dog fight right here, gang. 2 9th graders. Got to go with Perry here. Both these wrestlers never lost in junior high. Both these wrestlers are 2-time junior high school champions. They're both 9th graders. Perry's ranked and been in some great matches. Nice shot. Lift. Perry's been in 19 all year. Got a Turk on Beatson.
Beatson started out at 112.
112.
Said earlier.
Couldn't hold the weight. Like I said, these are just 2 good athletes. Again, I got to go with Perry because of his size, and he's been at the weight all year. Aaron hasn't wrestled half the competition that Perry's wrestled.
Right.
Let's watch him right here. Now, oddly enough, Aaron is very good on his feet and very cat-like quick. So we'll see what happens here. The tie-up elbow tie. and high crotch. Aaron gets his hips away, can't get his legs caught underneath him. They're both in real good shape. I don't see anybody fatiguing here.
Perry is the number 2 ranked wrestler in the area.
If anything, if Beatson's doing anything wrong, he's staying too stationary, and he's lagging, getting his hips back. Perry's still got the knee trapped, and he'll start coming up to his feet and try to run the pipe on him. Watch him take a deep step back. Now, or pop his head to the outside and lift for a Turk, and just did a trip. And
2 more takedown points for Perry with 38 seconds to go in the first period. That'll make it 4-1 in his favor.
Perry in control, 4-1.
4-1, and Aaron's got to get something going here. Reversal, needs a reversal. So there it is. Switch.
You called it. That'll make the score 4-3 now.
Yep, right. Like I said, these are Cadillac wrestlers. This is more, I would call Perry, who's got the reach advantage. The little height getting in on him, and he's a strong kid. I don't know what weight he came down from. Aaron's not cutting the weight that Perry is, though. Remember, they were both heading to 112 at the beginning of the year. Perry never could make the team at 12 and ended up at 19, kind of as a temporary thing. Ended up doing so well, stayed at 19. Aaron made 12, couldn't maintain it, and ended up at 19. Right. So this is apparently where they're both supposed to be, right here, 119.
Into the second period now.
And it's kind of funny that using these two guys, you always have a nemesis. You got, well, this guy's a really great wrestler, Carl Perry. Boy, he's going to be the best we've ever seen. But there, across the circle from him, here's Aaron Beatson. Just so happens to be another 9th grader who's not going to go anywhere. They'll be wrestling against each other for years and years to come. Now there's Beatson's offense opening up.
Yeah, there you go right there.
Nice low single. John Smith single. Talked to his father, Brian Beatson, and that's the new move that he'd been working on just for this match, a low single. So now Beatson is in the lead, 5-4.
Tell you what, you said Perry's strong, but this Beatson kid's got some little strength too.
Oh, they're athletes. Both these kids are, can knock a baseball a mile, can run down the field, can play any sport. You just put it in their hands, and they'll do it. They're both. Aaron was a number in a little community league football, leading tackler, and leading touchdowns. I understand Perry was a good football player, also a baseball player.
Yeah, played JV baseball.
Leads his little league team in home runs. So what we got here is just 2 quality athletes. No change. The crowd's beginning to get into this bout here. You can see I'm kind of squirming in my seat.
I can see that.
I started off on the left side of Richie. Now I'm on the right side of Mickey. There's a deep charge. You got to kind of control his hips. See, there's a roll. Can't get caught in a roll. That'd be big points. Aaron lifts his head up. That's just athleticism there. Now there's that deep single. Perry's in good shape. His head comes up. Beatson's hips go down. He's blocking him. Watch that hand. That hand right there in the crotch. See it by the knee pad? That's what's gonna keep him in the ball game. Now Perry's in great shape, but then that's just keeping him down. Nice jump back. 6-5, second period. Anybody scores back points here could put the match away. Back points, so now let's see what happens. Beatson's got to get him. This is a tough ride to get out of right here. If we could get a zoom in somewhere. See that elbow right there? He's got he got a chicken wing on him. He got a chicken wing. Yep, and they stopped it. Good call. He had a double chicken wing. Too much pressure on the shoulders. Both referees jumped in on that.
And there's a point awarded for the potentially dangerous hole there. So that's going to tie it up. That's going to tie it up at 6 with 9 seconds to go in the second.
That was an interesting call. Both referees jumped in on that. So apparently what happened is the rule is you can't put the hand up on the shoulder. And if that turns out to be a big point in the match, maybe we can get a replay on it, but it might not be the way these guys are scoring. There's Beatson.
1 point.
No points.
No, they waved the point off. One escape point was awarded, but only momentarily.
But remember before, the early points before, in the previous match with the roll, so they're consistent where they are, both referees are pretty keyed up.
Right. So the third period starts with a 6-6 tie.
And I think they're going to make a call to cut him loose. I even see Coach Martin. They're cutting him loose. It looked like it was a family decision between the Martins. And there's cutting him loose. That puts Beatson ahead 7-6. Now remember, Beatson has scored a takedown tonight already. Right. Watch for Perry to be over-aggressive.
Perry hasn't gotten a takedown since the first period.
No, he got one that was like a late reverse. It looked like a takedown, but it really was. There's a snap down by Beatson.
Minute 32 to go in the third.
There's two. Now let's see if Aaron can ride him. Aaron does like to ride and is pretty good at it. Now he'll cut him loose.
Perry does get the escape.
But takedown will tie it. And he'll also look for a warning stall here against Beatson later on. Now listen to this. Are you guys ready for this strategy?
I'm ready.
Beatson can shoot, get taken down, escape, and win the match.
Yeah.
So, if Perry scores, he ties it. Puts the ball game in Beatson's favor. So it's, now rather than get warned for stalling, they'll hit him, they'll warn Beatson. There's a whizzer. Now watch for the move that goes to the back. Watch it, a roll situation, cradle. Got it.
And there's 2 points for Perry. He gets Beatson on his back. He's getting back points.
I called it.
You sure did. Frank said it. Frank said that whoever gets back points here is going to bust it open. Gosh, he may even deck him here. He has time, 20 seconds to go into third period. The Great Bridge fans are on their feet.
We're going to tell you we want to bring that back on replay no matter what happens. That was the move.
Perry with a last few seconds just reach down and get it all. 2 seconds. 1. That's the way it's going to end, but he will get 3 back points plus the takedown. That's a 5-point move right there, and that'll make it 12-9 after being down 9-7 with just less than a minute to go in the third period.
Great match. Hey gang, they were 9th graders.
That's right.
9th graders. Don't be surprised if you see that back in the regional finals right there. See if we can get the replay if it comes up on the move that won it. Maybe somewhere during the course of this match we might be able to pull that back up for you.
Here we are at 125, not wasting any time. Lavisha Kostic, the Great Bridge wrestler, against John Jones from Cox. Cox, Jones, the lankier of the two. Neither of these wrestlers come in ranked, unlike any of the matches thus far.
But this will be a good one. Both wrestlers are tough and can upset and beat anybody. These guys could very easily be in the regional finals. Jones lost a real close one to Doris from Kempsville, and Kostic lost the same thing, just lost in the last few seconds.
2 points already for Kostic. An escape there for John Jones will make it 2-1 in Kostic's favor. Four to 1 to score after those 2 points for Kostic were awarded. Wrestlers go out of bounds and will come back.
Perry's that kind of looking for that Turks. Lift those legs up. Lift that legs up. I tell you what, I'm still quivering over that last match.
That was exciting.
I hate to be right, but that seemed what happened. I said the guy that scored the back points would win the match, and he scored them at the right time.
Sure did.
Because he had to be in Perry had to be in a multiple point situation, not only a takedown but back points, and he put it all into one package.
9 seconds to go now in the first. And Frank, at the end of this period, we'll have that replay.
And then we'll go to
we'll go to Mickey, I believe,
after the replay.
If Perry's ready. I don't see Perry out there right now.
Maybe we can put it all together. Have the replay and then a talk with Perry. And what you'll be seeing is the point that scored with Beatson, the points that scored with Perry. But right here, we've got a match on our hands here. The match started off exactly the same way, 4-1. Perry took a 4-1 lead, and Kostic has a 4-1 lead here in the first period. There it is. Now watch the knee. Now Beatson makes a mistake with his knees down, and see his knees trapped, and Perry does it just the way it's supposed to be done. Once you're on your hip, I tell you what, I can't see how he stayed off his back, but that elbow was what did it, and the rest is history.
Back to live action. And we'll be talking to Carl Perry with Mickey Irvin very shortly. Still hasn't come out of the locker room, I believe.
That's a great match, great camera angles. Our guys have done a great job, and there it is. Right to his back. Right to his back. Jones comes through. Do you know what this guy's nickname is? Jones. This may be the first time it's ever revealed among the referees.
What's that?
Sleazy.
Oh, why is that?
Sleazy. Because if you watched in the match, the 4-1, not a whole lot going on. He's getting all the scores point against him. All of a sudden, he's pinning you.
Right.
He's beat people like that all year long. 1:14 to go, and he's tight. He is tight. So it's just whether he can get in the right position to make it work.
I tell you what, Kostic has a 4-1 lead and lots of trouble on his hands.
Oh, there's the angle. There's the angle. You can see it just as the referee, great camera shot. You're going to know it when the referee knows it. No, he's in our way. There's a back end view.
45 seconds, got plenty of time here.
Jones might hit. This might be Jones's only opportunity to win right here. This will make the score 6-4.
Kostic really may be in trouble now, Frank. 25 seconds. All the coaches and Mark.
They got it. Digging deep. He got him. Big win. That's the upset.
Of sorts, yeah. Neither wrestler coming in ranked.
Both guys have been ranked during the course of the year.
Tell you what, that tightens things up. That'll make it 12-6 in Great Bridge's favor.
Right. Brian Jones ranked number 1. Stuart Pruitt's not ranked, but has been ranked a number of times throughout the year.
So already up to 130. Brian Jones, as you said, ranked number 1 in the area. Matt Pruitt comes in unranked at the moment, but not a stranger to the top 3 rankings.
Oh, no, not at all. Pruitt's in that little Torello. He's just got to sit back to his hips. And he didn't settle down. It's weird. He's in a pinning situation, but he hasn't scored the takedown yet.
Right.
So let's see who gets what here. And it's a stalemate. Good call. We have Perry for the pin clearance.
neither wrestler has gained control yet. And there's only, finally, the 2 points are awarded to Brian Jones for the takedown. 37 seconds to go in the first. Previtt seems to be a little more muscular here, but Brian Jones maybe with a little more leverage.
Yeah, Jones is kind of he's real loose though for as muscular as he seems. He's a real gutty wrestler.
Finally caught up with Carl Perry after the big win. You fell behind. Tell me what's going through your mind there that enabled you to come back.
Well, once I was behind, I started to get a little bit tired. So I was hoping just to keep on going hard throughout the match, and maybe I could get them, and I did. So that's mostly what helped me through it.
Two freshmen. We're going to see these guys go at it for a few more years. Back to Richie and Frank.
Thanks, Mick. Getting a little tired out there, he said.
He said, hey, the good news, the good news is you admit it. The bad news is Coach Martin's going to see this tape. Pace of practice will pitch up on Monday, and there's our next wrestler on deck, Blandy.
Brian Jones working on a reversal here. With a minute 20 to go in the second. Inside of a minute to go in this second period. We're at the 130-pound weight division. 135 coming up. Shannon Baines of Great Bridge, a number 2 ranked wrestler in the area.
Well, the team scores 12-6, and you know, the match is much closer. The overall match is much closer than the score indicates. Mm-hmm. It's literally a few seconds away from being a tie match.
Mm-hmm. Jason Forsman, the number 1 ranked wrestler, 135 coming up when this is over. So it'll be number 1 takes on number 2. And that'll be our only opportunity to see that today, although we will see 1 and 3 on 2 more occasions.
20 seconds to go in the second period.
You know, it's not going to be long. Great Bridge has its own sound show now. It's not going to be long for they're going to have their own sound and light show going out here whenever they're at home.
Right. I tell you what, for a school, Great Bridge has been around for years and years. But I tell you what, looking around this gym, it's the first time I've been to the Great Bridge gym. Is they've got some placards up around here. I mean,
oh yeah,
a lot in wrestling, but a lot more wrestling. Wrestling is relatively new
here
within the last few years in terms of its dominance in the area.
But a lot of,
track and
yeah, look at that first one up there, 1922, 1923.
Right.
With girls basketball, with a lot of some basketball. Actually, look at this. There's some wrestling ones from the 70s. 73, 74.
78.
1978. Mickey's telling us that there's a 19...
That's when Mickey was the manager of the girls softball team. I remember that now.
I believe Great Bridge in 1978 won the district in basketball.
That's right.
Mickey Irving on that team.
Responsible for all the practice balls.
That's right. Mickey actually on the team.
Tight whizzer there. Tight whizzer by Pruitt. Got the whizzer, but it looks like Jones is trying to limp out. See that hand? The knuckles go down, and he cuts him back. Oh, that was pretty. Pretty. See how that works? Just the little things that make the motion go. Got to have your hand turned down to reduce the tension from the opponent. And that's exactly what happened, and he scored. There's our table, Robin Brinkley, Dapper Dan, and over next to him is Dapper Ann. There they are, the two Dapper guys.
That's right. That's
right
us.
there.
Gosh, how come that? And there's Frank. There you see Frank right up there.
Don't shine a lot of light over this way because blind us.
56 seconds inside of a minute. 6-3. Brian Jones' lead. We're at 1:30. .27 seconds, still 6-3 out there. These guys have been rolling around for some time. This is the third period.
6-3.
Barring anything unusual, that's the way this will.
The arms caught though.
2-1.
Pruitt,
That's the end of the match. And it'll end 6-3.
Pruitt loses. That hurt. That hurt. Cox had a chance to win that. I know that that Jones was ranked number 1 in the area, but that match could have gone either way.
135 coming up. Shannon Baines, the number 2 ranked wrestler in the area from Great Bridge. Jason Forsman, though, from Cox, the number 1 ranked wrestler. And here we see number 1 and number 2.
We have number 1 and number 2, and this is one where the Cox has got to have just to keep it respectable, because it's going to get real tough here in a few minutes. With me is Brian Beatson, if the name sounds familiar. His son, Aaron Beatson, just wrestled Carl Perry. Brian, a former Cox wrestler, a 3-time state champion, 2-time All-American at the University of Oklahoma. Brian, you got to be really pretty proud of your son here at his first big match at 119.
Well, that was a great match, Frank. That was probably the two, well, no doubt about it, that was the 2 best freshmen I've ever seen in my lifetime, the wrestling I've seen. It's just unbelievable freshmen to put on a show like that.
And it was a close match. Aaron got behind in the match and then was able to come back and get a lead, and then just had his hips kind of got slipped under. Perry came up with a cradle, converted it to a takedown and back points.
Yeah, I think Perry showed him something that he hadn't quite ever seen before. Hopefully he won't get caught in that one again, Frank.
Well, I'm sure that these guys will be seeing each other not only this year again, but in years and years to come.
So I'm sure they're going to see a lot of each other, but I'm hoping that Perry boy's going to grow a little bit.
Okay, thanks a lot, Brian.
You bet, Frank.
Bye-bye.
33 seconds to go here in the first period. And the number 1 ranked wrestler, 135, has a 2-0 advantage over Shannon Baines.
Well, I tell you, we talked about Jones as sleazy, and we don't mean that in the real sense it sounds. He just kind of slithers into things, and Forsman's kind of the same way. He just kind of ends up on top, and he can look good and look bad all in the same match. You know, he manages to pull away fine. He's only had 1 loss, I believe, the entire year at his weight class. Jason Forsman comes in too with I believe a 12-2 record, and Baines is 17-18, I believe 18-4. So you can see right there, Baines has been in a lot more matches, and if there's an equalizer in this thing, that could be it. And he's definitely seen sterner competition than Forsman has done. Cox program has the last 2 years has been trying to reassert itself. I believe what you're going to see is the lack of the junior high school program, which has been the mainstay of Beach District Wrestling, has been virtually cut down to size, where they just have a 30-day period where you can wrestle, and that's it. And I think that's going to catch up with them. the Chesapeake school systems have a total package, I'd like to call it, with a full junior high program, with a junior high tournament, and a JV program as well. So that's going to, I think, as years comes, the Chesapeake City schools will continue to emerge as the dominant in the sport of wrestling.
4-1 still the score here. You're seeing number 1 in the area taking on number 2. Coach Chris Smith over there putting a few moves on Coach Martin to show him how to show Shannon Baines what he was supposed to do. Either that or he was straightening his tie, one or the other. Minute 9. Just inside a minute to go here in the second period. Baines gets the 2 reversal points, and that should make it 4-3 actually, in favor of Jason Forsman.
Well, Richie, I'm going to sit in for a little while as Frank has started to wander around the gymnasium at will. And he's back.
Okay.
Am I getting set up here, guys? Everybody's giggling. Here's that cross ride. Look, called a hook. See it? He's got his hand up on his shoulder. It's a good way that the reason that they've come to that is everybody was getting rolled, arm around the waist, so they figure you can't get rolled if the arm's around your throat.
Right.
It's not really your throat, it's your shoulder. You see where I'm talking about Forsman? He just kind of slithers into things, you know, not a real high, flashy Granby roll, just kind of, there it is, you know, here I come.
And the second period ends with Forsman maintaining his 4-3 lead. Actually now 5-3.
And it's the third period.
Really anybody's match. Only a 2-point lead for Forsman right now. And Shannon Baines going to let him up.
It's the first time I've been to a Great Bridge match, and they have an announcer here. Kind of reminds me like the Virginia Duels, how they kept things rolling, and he does this really sounds good too.
Yeah.
Must be a local DJ and got a nice baritone type of voice. You know, welcome to the jungle.
Right. And the Cox crowd yelling for 2. And it is awarded to Forsman. So that'll make it 8-3. Baines hasn't scored at all in this third period.
Forsman, like I said, he's not a real physical kind of guy. He's deceiving. He's real lanky. He's been out to Iowa. He's made the Virginia team, select team, won some matches out there. Just real hard to beat, hard to score on.
8-4 after Baines escapes.
Smart, too. See what he does. See if he tries to throw anything here or waits for the call. He's got a lead. He's going to try to drag out from there. He knows. Referee on the match beats him.
There's a caution on Baines.
Yeah, he just went too soon. 37 seconds. He needs to bring that foot. Oh, and he beat him to it. He knew he was coming, so he beat him to the shot.
Right.
He's got to lift up now. Watch, he's going to bring his knees up and just lift up. He's done that correctly. Now the referee's watching to be sure that he doesn't scissor his legs.
Right.
And he didn't do it. Now he's just going to turn. There's his takedown.
I'll tell you what, that's 5 points for Forsman in the third period. Matches his first period.
Right.
Point scoring.
There's a little roll, but there's a slow. He made a mistake.
Baines with a 2-point reversal, and that'll make it end 10-6.
That could have been a fatal mistake.
And that'll make the team score 15-9 in favor of the Great Bridge Wildcats.
Like I said, the team scores 15-9, but this match is much closer than the team score indicates.
At 140 now, John Donato, the Great Bridge wrestler, take on David Todd of Cox. Neither of these wrestlers ranked either.
Again, this is one of those matches that anything could happen. Both guys are gutty, tough wrestlers, but both are susceptible to getting in trouble being put on their back.
The wrestlers go out of bounds, clock stops, and they'll return to the center of the mat.
There's a Russian tie by Donato.
Hey.
Getting better, huh?
Getting better.
Hey, I know them Spanish words. Paisano.
I was gonna say, I don't think that's Spanish.
I still like that guy DePoli. Remember that?
Oh, do you? Yeah, I remember him.
DePoli from Paulsboro.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, DePoli. I called my dad and said, "Hey, Dad, what's the story here?"
Interview the Cox guy between periods.
No points scored yet. Donato attempting to shoot earlier. Nothing doing.
Cox has been put in a real unique situation where if they have to wrestle Green Run, and Green Run was beat by Kempsville. Kempsville wins the Peninsula District. Cox has losses to Kempsville and Salem. So they could really throw things into a tailspin here by beating Green Run. That'd be 3 teams with 2 losses.
Right.
You know, where Salem lost. Salem has 2 losses. Cox has 2 losses at the moment, and Green Run has 1. So that'd be a real interesting match. Kempsville wins the Peninsula, wins the Beach District, and that will put them on a collision course with Great Bridge, possibly in the semifinals. But if we remember the way things go in this district, the dual meet tournament, anything can happen with the big upset of last year, I believe it was, with Green Run and a very, very good Western Branch team.
Right. Here with Jason Forsman, got the big win for the Falcons. Was it tougher than you thought it was going to be?
It was tough, but things seemed to open up a lot easier. I didn't think that he'd make that many mistakes, and it just things seemed to open up. Caught him on a couple of things.
Okay, maybe keep an eye on this man. We'll see him in the Eastern region for Cox. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Mickey. Well, we're down to minute 40 to go in the second period, and still neither of these wrestlers able to put any points up.
You know, Cox this match is still young, and 15-9 is a team score, but you can tell it just doesn't have that electricity, that looming that, you know, something's going to big happen, you know, here. Now, this win, if he turns him here, if Todd can win here, it'll make it real interesting. And see what, because at 71 and 89, Cox could bring things right back.
And if they could hold their own at 145, 152, and 160.
Well, let's go back and say at 152 and 160.
Yeah.
The Terminator, I'm sure, is in a match that I'll be surprised how long it lasts. The Cox wrestler is a very good kid, but he's very young.
And there he is, speaking of 145, Mark Strickland on your monitor. Pacing around, but getting ready to go.
Right. At 152, I meant to say. At 152, Kevin Sullivan is really a 45-pounder. And they've moved him up to 52, and he's just a sophomore. So.
And Carlos Easton, number 1 in the area, just like Jamie Kelly is at 160.
Very big. Oh, look at this same move. The same move that Perry got caught on.
That'll make the score 3-0 in Donano's favor.
Good move by Donano.
With the 3-0 lead for John Donano.
No change. So see, the way it is if you got your arm around the guy's waist, that's what they say. They use the back of your spinal cord as the break point. If that hand comes across that, then then you've lost control. That little key points that they look for that determines whether you're in control or not. Just like I'm showing you that, hey, if the guy's hand goes, then he's going to go. He goes where that goes. It's little things that they've developed over the years. In wrestling, the oldest sport,
as you have proven,
first Olympic Games wrestling, and there was no size of the singlet, it was the size of the leaf.
I'll take your word for that too.
Yeah, hey. And a lot of these moves you see were used in the first Olympic Games.
How do we know that?
Because of the etchings on the vases, the Greek vases that they had. Matter of fact, the tie-up is the original tie-up that you see a lot of these guys use. The head and collar tie.
Well, you're just a wealth of information.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what we'd do without you.
Tell you what, though, Mr. Bev, Frank could be making all that up, but I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I know. It sounds perfectly reasonable to me, though.
Got to do it with a straight face, guys.
Yeah, that's right. That's the main thing.
Nationally, I want to give you a little update. Nationally, Jefferson Township is still the #1 ranked team in the paper in the country, according to USA Today Center Mat rankings. Oh,
some back points for Donano here, and
then he pulls it right out. Nope. Scores 5-0. Everything's going Donano's way. Everything. And like I said, Jefferson Township ranked #1 in the country. That's new because he doesn't normally wear that. And he looks like he lost his tooth.
Yeah. Gosh, I tell you what, he must have taken a heck of a blow to lose a tooth with that mask on. Oh, no, it's his nose, apparently.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's his contacts.
I don't know. The referee seemed to indicate his nose.
Don't forget, next Saturday night, the Cats will entertain the Bruins of Western France. Be here.
Strickland, 21-20, I believe he's around 22-0 right now. And I don't know if there's been a decision the entire year.
Yeah.
21-0 with a winning streak of 40-some matches.
Yeah, we can see the nose being worked on there. And while that's going on, let's go over to Mickey Irving, who's with John Donano. Mickey?
John Donano here had the 5-zip win. Did you think you were going to go out there and shut the guy out?
Yeah, I knew I could. He was a real good leg rider. He caught me up for a while down there. But I knew I'd be able to do it.
The fans on John right now with a big interview here. John, you're a little shaken up. What's the injury?
It's just a couple pulled muscles. They've been sore this week. He'll be all right in a couple days.
Okay, Frank, there's one of your favorite guys, John Donano. Back to the table.
I like that guy. We have to get a couple of spaghetti and meatballs together here.
And you can hear the fans over there, his friends giving him a lot of support. I guess that support, I'm not sure.
Yeah, he finally wins one on the TV tube.
On TV, and it's interesting, you know, it seemed like we had the ACC 40 curse on him because he beat a ranked wrestler from Indian River, then goes into Kempsville the next week and gets beat on television.
Yeah, he's never won one on TV
until today.
Until
today. So that's
there
good.
he is, the Terminator, as calm, as cool, but a calculating assassin as there's been in wrestling.
Oh, that's a pretty big,
that's a pretty big
statement right there. Sure is.
Right.
And so now, back out on the mat here, Strickland with a 2-0 with 1:43 to go in the first.
There's that little Torella.
One of his favorite moves.
Right. I'm interested to see what type of moves he tries to use, because remember the match we had him, he's trying for the fall, but he built up too many points.
Right.
And put himself in a situation he had to settle for a technical fall.
And see right there, that move really to get back points. You're not going to really pin anybody from that position.
No, he's going to have to change it over.
Yeah. There's 2 back points for Strickland.
2 back points for Strickland.
That'll make it 4-0 in his favor. Wrestlers go out of bounds with make it 39 seconds to go in the first period.
And in here, there he's trying to get that, just going to pull him right to his back. Just, watch him, just jerk him. Watch this. No, it did a roll under. Went the other way with it.
And couldn't get on him in time to keep him from turning.
Nope.
Down to 10 seconds to go in the first. Been a while since Mark Strickland lost a match.
Right. I don't even want to call it a loss. His last match where he didn't win was when he pinned himself.
Right.
And the Christmas tournament, or Poquoson Christmas tournament, 2 Christmases ago. So, and that was his only loss. I believe it was 41-1 last year with the state championship, with 20 pins, 17 technical falls, and this year I'm not quite sure. Maybe we can get that from Robin. How many pins and technical falls he has this year?
Whitaker will let
there it is.
Up here.
Change it off to a headlock.
Minute 50 to go with a 5-point lead.
He's blocking himself though. You can't see it, but his shoulder is underneath the guy's, his elbow's underneath the guy's shoulder. Whitaker's shoulder. He's got a, well, he has it. There he's got it right there. He's gonna have to lift his head up and scoot forward.
Yeah, it's almost time to stick a fork in Josh Whitaker.
Nah, Josh is tough guy,
but he's almost done.
He's almost done, is right. And
it's getting.
His shoulders are up, but he's in a position to get the fall. Minute 10 to go. It's a long time to be on your back.
Yes.
Tell you what, Frank, this is a guy 20 years from now, the Cox wrestler's going to say, man, you're not going to believe the guy I had to wrestle at Great Bridge one day.
There you got him.
And there he goes.
Josh Whitaker gave it a good try, but the Terminator.
He terminates one there. That'll make the team score 24-9. Great Bridge pulls away, and that'll show you just how good Mark Strickland is. Josh Whitaker, Mickey, no slouch, came in ranked number 3 in the area.
Now,
and Strickland pins him with 57 seconds to go in the second period.
I'm going to go over and see if I can get a word with him, but on this next match, don't go to the refrigerator. Easton's tough. Kevin Sullivan's a good kid, but he's out of his weight class in this one. We'll see how good he can make the match look.
Tell you what, I'm gonna let let Frank go do this interview because, to be honest, I set it up. Strickland's going to deck him.
Oh, I can't wait. Let's be sure we get a camera on that. And we're underway here at 152. Carlos Eason, ranked number 1 in the area. Kevin Sullivan moving up to 152.
What a class guy Carlos Eason
Oh, yeah, no
is.
question.
Outstanding student. And he's just going to work out here now.
2 takedown points for Carlos Eason there.
Talk to him during the interviews, and you ask Carlos what happened. Very direct answers. Tells you exactly what he was thinking, what moves he was going through, and
very well spoken.
Somebody should come up with a nickname, the Professor maybe, or something like that for Carlos Eason.
I like that.
And the Professor is conducting class out there right now.
Yes, he is. A few back points there for Eason. I believe he'll get 3 out of that. And indeed he does.
I kind of like that. Just off the top of my head there.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I'm all for it. That'll make the score 5-0. Make that 5-1 after Kevin Sullivan escapes.
Oh, Great Bridge is just so strong. When you start at Strickland, you go to Eason and Kelly. Indian River had the 3 amigos in football, and I think Great Bridge has 3 amigos right up the middle here. It's already 7-1. You notice the Great Bridge coaching staff when these 3 get out a little more relaxed over there.
Yeah, a little more relaxed. Not a whole lot to say.
Didn't want to ask John Donato about his first TV interview. John got the victory today. We seem to have had a jinx on John.
Seems to. Frank and I were talking about that. His friend's very supportive of him over there.
Oh, yes, very supportive.
I said, that's what I said to Frank. I said, they're very supportive. I think that's what that is. Hey, it's 10-1 as the 3rd period ends. So 2 takedowns and 2 sets of 3 points each for near fall points. 1 escape for Kevin Sullivan in the first. Carlos Eason up 10-1.
Eason chooses down.
Eason selects down here, and you might think Kevin Sullivan would let him up. Don't think so.
Let's see what the Professor is going to teach him here now. Get some points out of this. Look at that move. Sullivan in trouble.
We'll see. There's 2 reversal points right there for Carlos Eason.
Over on mat number 2, Mark Strickland has already taken down Frank 3 times.
That's right. Uh-oh.
Just a display here of how to do it by Carlos Eason.
Eason has Sullivan on his back here. And as Frank said, minute 14 is a long time to be on your back.
This guy's getting ready to graduate from Eason Class 101.
That's right. Eason using everything he's got, even his head, to try to get the arm of Sullivan down. Sullivan not real happy.
Coach Steve Martin up off the bench looks like he's saying, hey, just go ahead and do it.
Bring your ball
15-1, Mr. Babb.
Tell you what, if Carlos Eason gets 1 more point here, this is going to be a technical fall, so he better go ahead and,
I'm surprised he didn't let him up.
And me too. That at least would give him a 13-point lead instead of a 14-point lead. Down to 18, 17, 16 seconds to go here in the second. Eason's not going to let him up, though. He'll go back to the center with 12 seconds to go in the second period. Eason with a 15-1 lead. I think Frank's ready to do an interview.
Don't know what that noise is coming in.
Can't imagine. We're being contacted.
24 now.
Mark Strickland, 24-0. You're on a record pass. I don't think you've had a decision this year, have you?
No, sir. I've had something like 13 pins and the rest technical falls.
Rest technical falls last year with a record of a 41-1, 20 pins, 17 technical falls. I call you the Terminator. I think that fits you real well. You're kind of through the thick of your season. You've had the big match with Jefferson Township. What do you do to get yourself up for the matches at this time?
Well, I don't know. Some people have a problem staying motivated, but you know, every day we look at our wall and it has all the names of the state championships, you know, and I just strive for that. You know, I love to see my name up there, and I want to see it up there again, and I'm willing to pay the price.
Well, times change and scores remain the same. Once Mark Strickland's name's on the wall, it'll be a big aster. The Terminator. He made his mark known at Great Bridge.
All right, thank you, Frank. We're into the third period now. Just a minute and a half to go. 15-2 is the score.
Takedown. And that's it.
Easton gets a takedown, and that's going to be a technical fall. With a minute 27 to go in the third. Mickey, we'll take these short matches in a minute.
Oh, yeah. You know how Carlos is. He's a nice guy. He knows I have reservations.
That's right. No kidding. That'll make it 29-9. Going into Jamie Kelly at 160 for Great Bridge, taking on Jim Iman of Cox. Jamie Kelly, Jim Iman, sort of in the same position Kevin Sullivan was in, taking on a #1 ranked wrestler and not being ranked yourself.
And that's not good.
Well,
unless you're the #1 ranked wrestler.
It's kind of a high mountain to climb.
Something that Mark Strickland touched on that Great Bridge does so well is stay motivated.
Right.
These guys really are motivated day in and day out. It's got to be a grind for these guys. You have to think that Mark Strickland and Carlos Easton and Jamie Kelly know when they step on the mat, they are in good shape to win. So to stay motivated and to keep working says something for the Great Bridge coaching staff, Chris Smith and
I kind of want to sing. I'm just kidding.
Oh, football flashback.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I guess 29-9 made me feel like I was at a football game.
Or a really bad baseball game.
Yeah. Oh.
That's a nightmare.
Yes, it is.
I'm sure all our ACC 40 fans are well aware of our outstanding football coverage.
There's Jamie Kelly with Jim Iman on his back. He got the 2 takedown points, and now he's going to try to deck him with a minute to go.
Speaking of 6 points and touchdowns.
Most.
Absolutely. A lot of people would like to have that job.
As we like to say at ACC 40, a cast of thousands.
Cast of thousands.
And that'll be about how many people will try to get that job.
Yeah, that's right.
Of course, Richie Babb and I have both formally declined the position.
They approached us.
Yes, and as they ran by.
Yeah.
I think Frank should apply for the job.
No, I don't think so. Minute 5 to go. 2-1 is the score in favor of All Red, but he's in a little trouble right now. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't really say that's trouble.
Trouble's such a strong word.
It is.
You being the English teacher.
And when it's 35-9 in favor of your team, how much trouble can you be in? That's exactly right.
I'm back. There he is, GQ guy. There he is. Look at that.
That's the same shirt he had on at Kempsville. He can say what he wants to about new shirts.
He said he had a lot of new shirts. He could have had
one of them.
Oh, man.
I don't think. I don't know.
I don't know. I think he had a little different,
he matches.
A different yellow.
Oh, nice move there.
.25 seconds to go here in the second period.
Frank, what's your opinion of Crenshaw?
Well, Crenshaw, I was impressed, and I've been in the Cox room a number of times, and I just thought when I first saw him, this guy's got to be the state champ. But if he lacks anything, it's strength, but he's got everything he needs. He's got range. He's got range, and he's got size, but I don't know if he has power. And he's got it, you know. He just looks good and wrestles good. He's in a tight match here. He doesn't necessarily score a lot of points, but he's technically sound. He's very cool. He kind of reminds me of the Terminator in terms of, you know, he stays pretty calm out there, just like the Terminator does, Strickland. But he doesn't have the power that Strickland has. Right. But we'll see. He has, no one's come close to him this year. I mean,
is that right?
The matches have been somewhat close, but the scores have been close, but he's been in all the matches.
So Steve Martin has to be very pleased with the job that Billy Allred's doing right now. This is an accident. This isn't, Crenshaw can't go, well, look, I had a bad match. No, Aldridge made him have a bad match. Look, this is a situation Beatson was in early, remember, when Perry?
Right.
Trying to shake him. He's got to kick his leg back. See this? He's got to bring his leg back, mule kick back. He's got a mule kick back, but he didn't get it now. He got one of them back.
No change. Wrestlers will go back to the center.
We did an interview over there. I took a while with Mark Strickland, and we also did one for Tidewater Amateur Sports there, who's going to do a feature on Strickland and also talk about our activities here. That's right, and be an interview with our great cast of characters.
That's a good phrase, cast of characters.
Yes.
We've got all kinds, all sizes. We've got some big guys here. And some really dapper guys, too.
That's right. A couple slobs around, too.
And we got them all. But ACC 40, been a pleasure to be here. I want to thank Zeros for their support.
That's right. This game being brought to you by the Great Bridge Zeros and
Jimmy Murphy out there.
Jimmy Murphy.
Right. Former Norfolk Catholic, classmate of mine.
32 seconds. I tell you what, if Allred can hold on here and hold on to this 2-1.
There it is.
Oh.
Gonna go overtime. That's it. No. 21 seconds. Lock his hands.
And no escape awarded yet.
No, we got to go out of. He's got
10 seconds. 9.
He's got to lock his hands. He's beat him. No.
That's it.
Upset.
Unbelievable.
Number 1 goes down.
Number 1 goes down to number 3 on points scored in the first period. Oh. Boy, they seem to award those points a little late.
That probably, I have to look at the replay because he had his hands separated, and that was a late call. So it probably was an escape. I wasn't sure why they called that late, but it was correct anyway.
Right. And this is a sudden death overtime, isn't it?
Right, 1 against number 3. This is the way it should go. Right here. Nobody can save you right now. He's got him blocked off. Got to bear hug him right there.
There's Crenshaw with the takedown to win in overtime.
That was at range. See if we can get a replay, maybe if we can, on the last part of that match, and if we can see where the escape really occurred.
Well, that loss by Billy Allred, really just a drop in the ocean, really. That'll make the team score 35-12 in favor of Great Bridge. And here at 189, Joey Guth, we saw him last week, had a great performance against Kempsville, taking on Brian Wilson here at 189.
There it is. Now see right, watch this, his hips, well, he got his hands locked. His hands locked, and if he separates them, we'll just kind of stay with this. Nope, that was it. It's still questionable. That wasn't enough to tell what happened there. I think the escape maybe was before that.
All right.
For what the referee saw.
Right.
So we'll lock it up in the vault.
That's right, all forgotten.
That's true.
Water under the dam, boys. Or over it or through it. We're at 189, the penultimate match tonight. You like that word, the penultimate? You know what that means?
Can you spell it?
Yeah. Let me see. P-E-N and then ultimate.
I like it.
We'll see the replay again.
See if we can back it up a tad farther. Apparently, we've got some interest up in the truck.
Apparently.
Because the evidence was not conclusive.
No. Both of these wrestlers unranked.
And these are, again, 2 sophomores and oh man, did he do that pretty. That is a pretty move.
Oh, the Great Bridge fans not happy about that. They said, hey, no way they were out of bounds. But
he was out of bounds.
Guth did get his 2 takedown points.
Looked like the linebacker in Joey Guth coming out a little bit.
He definitely hit it hard.
He did. That was impressive.
These are 2 sophomores here. The match is over. As you can see, team scored 35-12. And then we got the dumpster coming up, and you got to like the dumpster here. These are both 2 excellent football players, both starters on their teams.
Early in the season, Coach Martin said that Joey Guth, very strong, very good wrestler, good instincts. He just had to work on his technical.
Oh, look at that. Nice long switch. He almost stepped right over and put him on his back.
He said all he needed to do is work on the technical aspects of his wrestling a little bit. And we saw against Kempsville, Joey Guth in good condition.
Oh, Brian pulled a nice move there. He's got to try to pull him across him and half him.
Coach Martin reminding him to be focused, to remain focused.
Tell you, Richie, something that Joey Guth told me after the Kempsville match, he doesn't like to be in close matches. He either wants to blow him out or pin him. He just does not like it when it's close like this one could be.
He's in a close one. Again, both real evenly matched guys, both sophomores, both going to be around for a long time. The word is that Cox wrestler will, here it is on that escape. Watch it on the replay. They're saying that the escape occurred right there. That was the escape. That was it. See where he was? He had his arm on his leg. Remember the rule I told you?
Right.
About up on his back? Well, that's when the escape. So there's the evidence.
And we're back to live action here. How come the escape? How come it took him so long to award it?
Because it could have been a reversal. So you give him the highest point on the situation. If you give him an escape and he goes ahead and gets a reversal, it could have very easily been a reversal.
Right.
So he made a mistake by not, and that he looked bad by not awarding. Oh, he's got his shoulder down, and he's got his shoulder down. He's got to bring his knee under. Got to bring his knee under. Now, shoulder. Watch the shoulder. Watch the shoulder. He's got to lift him up. He's got to get that shoulder. That's the key. The bottom shoulder. That's planted on the mat. Now, see, he got it out, and he almost got away. He has to pull his hand out and block his shoulder. He's not going to turn him now. Unless he reaches into it. Now he's got his shoulder back down. Now he's got his arm up. They might stop it for potentially dangerous. He got out of it.
Yep. .43 seconds to go in the second. Tied up 2-2. .30 seconds.
Still tied up at 2. 35-12 team scores. That'll stop the clock as they go out of the circle. Brian Wilson and Joey Guth. Who do you like so far, Mr. Bev? Pretty much a toss-up as
Yeah,
the
sure
dumpster is starting to get the cylinders going. Back behind the Wildcat bench, you got a quick look at the dumpster. See Coach Steve Martin in the gold and green. The back of your picture there is Joey Guth is going to ride it out, and we're going to stay tied up at 2 going to the third and final period, Mr. Babb.
Well, that's the case. Joey Guth is going to let Brian Wilson, his opponent, up.
That makes it 2-3. Remember, in the first period, Guth almost scored that cradle takedown.
No points scored in the second period. Now we're into the third. And there's 2 takedown points for Wilson.
These are just 2 balanced athletes. Kind of reminds me of that 119-pound match, you know?
Right.
Close match. 2 guys, same year in school. Both good athletes.
But Joey Guth has shown that he can pour it on right at the end, as he did against Kempsville last week. He was down 8-2 and came back with a fall.
I tell you what, Brian Wilson has shown that he can half Nelson anything. As he's throwing them from right field here.
Knowing that Joey Guth scored all the points in the third period last week could be why they elected to give up that point, make it 3-2 to start the third.
Well, 5-2. There it is. Oh. Might have been his chance right there. Both wrestling kind of, I don't want to call it sloppy, but you know, it's more hearts and guts than technique.
Right. There's a caution on Brian Wilson.
See that? He's trying to Turk him, but he really didn't have his shoulder in the right place. He just kind of lifted him up and sent him back down.
Seconds to go in the third. Five to 2 is the score in favor of Brian Wilson of Cox.
Neutral. And he limps right out. Oh no, he misses it. Great wrestling here though. These are like, again, 2 guys wrestling with their hearts on their sleeves.
15 seconds, 5-3 now after Guth is awarded an escape point. 3, 2, 1. That's the end of the 189-pound weight match. Brian Wilson wins by a score of 5-3. That'll make it 35-15 in favor of the Wildcats. And coming up, the heavyweights, Jason Edmondson, the dumpster, ranked #1 in the area, taking on Dan Clark of Cox.
Jason Edmondson.
Clark is got his hands full with Edmondson. They're both. Edmondson's obviously is a lot more aggressive.
Edmondson really took it to him right there.
Right. Well, this is heavyweights generally don't like each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just kind of rough and tough and tumble.
Team score, Greenwich 35, Cox 15.
Frank, it must be the heavyweights. They're doing the underhooks.
Yeah, underhooks. No shots, no doubles, underhook. Watch out. Get out of their way. Wrist roll, half Nelson. That's all. We need to show them any more. Pancake. It's trying to, unique. The Dumpster's trying to lock up, and try to do a bear hug. Clark. Nice move by Clark.
Edmondson does get the 2 takedown points, though.
Nice move by Clark. Oh, that was a mistake. See that? I told you about shots and doubles, heavyweights. Looked like a big, boom.
There's 2 more takedown points for Edmondson. That'll make it 4-1. Edmondson just wants to get him on his back. I'm not sure he has time. $30 seconds. Everything happens so slowly in there.
Yeah, it sure does.
A few back points there for Edmondson.
That's amazing to see heavyweights do a tilt. Really, it's like 2 elephants kind of like doing a ballet dance.
Kinda.
Really. I mean, hey guys, don't knock over any of the china.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah, well, you know what I mean?
That's right.
7-1
That'll make it 7-1 going into the second period.
Dumpster takes down Jason Edmondson, the Dumpster.
There's a shot that he would take down.
Guess they think they're good on bottom.
Hey, I got a trivia question for you. What's the only mammal that can't jump?
A dumpster.
No.
No, this is real question.
Okay.
What?
An elephant. An elephant.
An elephant.
That's right. Even believe it or not, I can jump. Not very high.
Oh, we're not talking hang time.
No, definitely not.
As soon as you can blink, the dumpster's up 9-1.
Minute 26 to go. It's 9-1 in favor of Edmondson after a takedown. Minute 8 to go now in the second period. Edmondson up by 8. And he gets 2 back points out of that little mess right there. That'll make it 11-1 if he can get up 5 more points. This match will be over.
Second period, a lot of time to go, but I said these heavyweights, you just don't know. Dumpster keeps such good body position, though. It's hard to believe that he'll, but see, when he's doing these tilts, he could literally lift Clark right on top of him. And these guys are both 250 pounds or plus. It's hard to get off your back when you got that much weight on your chest. You know?
Yes. Let's go over to Mickey Irving now, who I believe
special guest,
Coach or former Coach Tommy Rhodes at Great Bridge High School.
Here with Coach Tommy Rhodes, who has resigned as the head football coach at Great Bridge. Coach, what are you going to do with all the time now? I know you like to stay busy.
Well, devote some time to my wife and family. I have 3 daughters who are all very active in different things, and I'm going to try to put a little bit more time in them and put some time for myself. I've put a lot of things aside. I'm ready to do a few things for myself, my family, and of course I enjoy teaching, so I'll teach.
Well, we've heard that football coaches weren't sure that the leaves turn color in the fall, so now Tommy Rhodes is going to finally get a chance to look at that. Like we mentioned just a little while ago, Tommy Rhodes is Great Bridge High School and what Great Bridge High School football is all about. We're going to miss him here at ACC 40, and good luck, Coach.
Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Back to you guys.
All right. Thank you, Mickey.
I tell you what, Coach was coach at Oscar Smith.
Right, that's right.
And Kenny Easley.
That's right.
And I tell you what, I was in high school at the time, and they would kick off to Kenny Easley. And then they would hike the ball to Kenny Easley. Then Kenny Easley would punt the ball, and Kenny Easley would make the first tackle.
Yeah, that's
so,
right.
It's Kenny Easley left, Kenny Easley right.
Yeah, that's right.
And I heard he did some cheers on the sideline.
He may have.
Kenny Easley was one of his greats, and I know they're still very close friends.
Yes, they are. That's the end of the second period. The Dumpster's still up 11-1.
As we begin the third and final period.
Neutral. Clark takes neutral. And injury timeout.
The Dumpster having a little trouble. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Injury timeout for Edmonton. Clock is running.
Okay.
All right, so the Dumpster ready to get back to work. Ready to start the third period.
Hey, tell you what there, Mr. Richie Babb, Coach Steve Martin just stood up and said, are you going to attack this guy or what? So he's telling the Dumpster, let's get to it.
Yeah, you're going to attack this guy or what? What's he doing?
Look at that.
It's 11-1 now, and there's a front head. Went to a bear hug to a front headlock standing. And he'll just spin here. Zoop. Missed that spin. They kind of have their own grace about them heavyweights.
I like that.
Yep. I tell you what, we saw that guy in the Virginia Duels for Northampton. And that was a heavyweight.
That's the most carved heavyweight I've ever seen. He looked like a college heavyweight.
He shot a double so hard that he left footprints in the guy's chest. He went over the guy, stopped and turned around and came back and scored the takedown.
2 more takedown points for Edmonton. That'll make it 13-1, getting close to near fall territory here. In fact, all he needs is 3 back points right here. 3, 4, 5. Match is over. Let him up. They'll stop the match. 16-1. There's 3 back points.
3 points. Near fall for Edmonton. That's all she wrote. Technical foul.
It's like the man said, that's all she wrote over the
40-15
system. So the
is
Dumpster.
the final score. 40-15, the final score after Edmonton gets a technical fall. And Great Bridge had a heck of a match. It was pretty close until they hit their big row here with Strickland, East, and Jamie Kelly. And even before that, John Donato got them rolling at 140.
Well, I tell you, right into off the back, 119. If you give that win to Cox, and it's a little bit closer in the beginning, and then there was a close match there. Of course, at 171, Cox was able to pull it out, but they were just up too young a team up against a too much experienced team. Too much for Cox to handle. Today was all Great Bridge. I just think Coach Martin will be peaking his team going into the district dual meet championship here with Great Bridge, with Western Branch, and then on to the big stuff.
Well, Frank, we're not going to let you get out of here that easy. We know you like for people to think that you don't think that there's any other physical activity besides wrestling, but in fact,
wait a minute,
that's not the case.
Uh-oh.
We know that you've been doing other things, don't we, Mickey?
We've heard some rumors.
We heard that you are even doing something where you have to change your shoes. Would you know anything about ice skating, Frank?
Well,
you're right, Ricky. It's not like wrestling mats. It's a little bigger and a lot harder than a wrestling mat. The rink itself is about 50 foot wide by about 80 foot long, and it's all done by compressors, and we have a giant compressor. This rink you see here was the same rink that was in Home Alone, the first Home Alone movie, where the guys were all skating around in the beginning before he got his house robbed. Well, this is it right here. If you see out there, we've got our Zamboni going out there. That Zamboni is attached to a John Deere tractor, and that's new this year. We didn't have a Zamboni. We did it all by hand last year. Last year, the Norfolk-on-Ice rink attracted about 15,000 people, and so we expanded the rink. It's 800 square foot larger than it was last year, which isn't a whole lot, but it's getting a little bit bigger, and the quality of the rink is a little bit. What happens is it costs $3.99 to skate, and then if you want to rent a skate, the skates themselves are 99 cents. It's a lot of fun. We've had people from all over the place. And where are you from?
Chesapeake.
Where in Chesapeake are you from?
It's off Indian River Road.
What do you think of this Norfolk-on-Ice?
I think it's awesome. I love it.
Have you skated before?
No, I never have.
Okay. It's a pretty good sized rink.
Yeah, I wish it was a little bigger though, so people couldn't see mistakes.
You go out and give it the best you can, okay?
Okay.
We'll talk to you after you skate a little bit.
All right, thanks.
All right, Frank, there you go. doing a little skating. Is that you?
Yeah, there's me. I'm the manager of Norfolk on Ice.
Oh yeah, I see you back there.
And they don't allow you to ice fish. We need to get you guys out there. It's open 7 days a week.
I like the sign that says "Skate at your own risk."
Right, I'm standing by it.
Yeah, I see that.
Right.
So that's in case anybody falls, you can act like you didn't see it.
That's it.
So you're the manager out there. You're running the place, and good turnout. You get pretty good crowds out there.
Oh, you did a good crowd. It's open 7 days a week. A good night to come is Wednesday night, which is family night, free skate rental. It's done by Norfolk Fest Events. A lot of people from Chesapeake have watched our matches, have noticed me because
imagine that.
A high appeal.
How about that?
And they've got right there's Randy's kid.
Oh, really?
That's Randy.
Skates just like Randy, too.
It sure does. He skates like Randy.
Well, like Randy walks.
Right, and there's some of the other people that we have out here at the match. And there's the rink itself. And we've had a lot of fun with it. We had it last year. Like I said, this rink here was on Home Alone.
How about that?
It's $3.99 to skate, 99 cents for the skate rentals. And I think we come on up.
Well, Frank,
we kind of come on up to.
So lots of skating going on in Norfolk. You can go out and see Frank. Can you skate, Frank? Do you know how to skate?
You said you couldn't skate.
It's my first time. What can I say?
First time where?
In Virginia.
Where, have you skated before?
Vermont.
Ringer. After some prompting from Randy, our producer, and talking to a lot of the expert skaters, and I think I've mastered it. So I'm going to go ahead and try to show you that wrestling's not the only thing I know a few moves with. So my first attempt will be the Great Bridge, Kempsville, Cox, spin around, roll, turn in, spin. Watch this.
Mister, where are your skates?
Go away, kid. You bother me. What do you mean? Where'd that come from?
I don't know. I can't imagine.
Well, that wraps us up here.
Well, that's going to do it, guys. Next time we'll see you be Great Bridge Western Branch, and lots of tournament action coming up here on ACC 44. Mickey Irving, Frank Lapoli, and everybody in your truck, and everybody everywhere. Thanks for being with us here on Sports Beat 40.
I got a chicken wing.
Hey, that's enough.
I got
enough
a chicken
of you,
wing.
pal.
Whoop, 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 whoop.